All right, Kyle. So we didn't get all the video, so I wanted to do a little bit of a recap of where we left off. So we last left off when we were entering kind of that little area of ruins. And so three of our adventurers were there. Our our newest adventure was not quite there yet. So I have the Adventures of Midgard thing open. I don't know if you can take us back to that and to see what happened to that. So I think at that
Yeah,
point, Shino, who's Zach number two's character?
yeah, that is Gezo Olsen.
Olsen. Yeah. So Geza Olsen wasn't with us. So yeah, if you can take us back to kind of that ruin area outside, and maybe we can talk about what happened.
Yeah, so the party was exploring, as you said, the ruins of this abandoned keep that had fallen, maybe 100 years previously in some cataclysmic battle that's now almost forgotten. The party is, making your way through the upper levels of this keep. What little of it that's still standing, at least, and you come across a very odd-looking mechanical man, a construct
So
named.
let me stop there because I think we're skipping something. So maybe because we were still outside when the last video ended,
Mhm.
and we heard a sound, and I think that's kind of where we left off. We heard this sound, and it
I
was
retconned that slightly. I think
yeah,
that because I believe Gezo met the party, and then we ended
yeah.
up fighting the owlbear.
And do you remember Gezo's backstory? So Gezo, which is our other player, he said that he was sent by.
Yeah, he
Uh,
was in Zobek, and he was sent by the College of Herbology
hmm.
to find their lost member who had been last seen in this area, named Ickbon Tea Strainer.
And he's the one that we've been looking for. That we got information at the bar that we were in that episode. Now
Yeah,
the guys, the Shino, Bernard, Siok, and Tekatani had a lot of questions for him, for Gezo. They want to know who he was. Once
right.
we found out that he worked for maybe some well-off university people, we were like, all right, let's have him join. Can you tell us a little bit about Gezo's character?
Yeah, so Gezo is he is what would be more common in the metropolitan city of Zobek, but probably most of the other characters have seen this. He is a mechanical construct, an animated, essentially an animated machine. So he's got gears and he's made of metal, that kind of thing. His backstory, he still remains a little mysterious. I think he talked about uh, the fact that he was a living construct, but we didn't. I don't know how much we got into um, his his
Yeah,
previous adventuring life before he met you guys.
he just told us that he had been an adventurer, that was his thing. He kind of gave us a little bit of insight of who sent him and who he was looking for, and we said, "Hey, that's the guy we're looking for." So he volunteered that information first, which allowed us to sort of trust him. And so, with us gaining his trust and saying, "Hey, it could potentially get us more money for this thing. Let's have him join." And I will say, we didn't get too much time to talk to him because we had our first sort of fight happen in outside in the ruins. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Almost immediately, the party is waylaid by a fierce owlbear, um, and sadly for me, the DM, it was not a difficult battle. The party was easily able to dispatch the owlbear. Um, and then you guys continued deeper into the ruins. You found a kind of an opening in the floor
Yeah.
that dropped down into a sub level.
Mm-hmm.
And in that area, in that sub level, you found a door.
Right.
Um, this ornately carved dwarven masonry style door with owlbears in bas relief on the sides. And foolishly, no, wait, maybe not. You decided to go through the door, down the staircase, into what appears to be a some sort of catacombs or basement area of the keep.
Yeah, Shino is a bug guy, and so if you're not familiar with anime, Tony just stole that from Naruto. But he left his bugs upstairs. He was a little bit delayed in coming in. All of us made ourselves down. His bugs were upstairs. I think they were taking the fur and skin off the owl bear after we beat him. You're right. We kind of dispatched of him pretty quick. That was pretty surprising. We had some really good rolls. And so we did a good job there. We make our way down to the keep. He kind of steps in after we step in. But as we stepped in, we fought, I think, one boss. We fought somebody in here. Or one guy in here as when we stepped in, correct? Or am I misremembering that?
I don't believe you fought anyone down here yet. You were mostly doing reconnaissance using the bat.
What we did find is
Fuzz.
We found bodies, correct? That's what we found.
Yeah, you immediately were greeted by a rather grisly scene. There's an oubliette in the room next to the entry hall where you first came down, and hanging from chains are bodies in various stages of decay. And a gaping black hole in the center of the room, leading to who knows where. And then,
and we sort of ran through all that, and then we encountered where we're actually the story's gonna pick up today. We walked into these jail cells, and we found two individuals. Can you speak a little bit about them? And that's kind of where we left off last week.
Yeah, you did end up finding the two people that you were looking for, that you had heard were rumored to have last been seen in this area. They are Ickbon T. Strainer and Dugan LeVay. Now, when you found them, Dugan was almost unconscious, just in and out of consciousness, not doing good. The human merchant. And Ickbon, the halfling herbalist, was a little better off, though not much better off. And he whispered to you in what clearly was, he was clearly gripped by fear and terror as he said, beware of the jailer.
And if we're looking here, number 2 is the guy we're looking for, right? That's the guy that we were initially looking. That's what's his name again?
Ickbon T. Strainer.
And number 1 is a princess or lady that we meet. We don't really know her name too much. Or did she tell us her name?
I'm not sure. She is a merchant who had also disappeared in this area. I can't remember if the party had figured that out.
No, I don't know if we did. Shino started to hit on her.
You're right.
And
how did I leave that out?
Shino started to hit on her, and we were very much, hey, we got to get out of here, because we started to hear some noise kind of coming from outside the cells, and we said, hey, let's just get out of here. Let's grab both of them and make a stealthy exit. But Shino had other things in his mind, and he yelled, whoever you are, come and get me. To much of the chagrin of the rest of the party, but it seems like that's where we left off.
Yeah, I believe you might have heard those fateful words, roll for initiative.
Yep. All right. So that's where we're going to pick up the story in part 3. So we're excited to kind of do that, but we wanted to give a quick recap of, I guess, the second part of the first session, because we were unable to record that. So let's get to part 3 here.